What trait in a person you find creepy? People who stand too close to you when they're talking. Fair enough if it's a loud setting, but if it's just the two of you and the other person is standing right up close, it's super creepy emo. I have a really good memory and it creeps people out. Like 9 years after high school, I asked a classmate how his beagles were doing and he was a little freaked out that I remembered such a small detail about him years later. At my 10-year reunion, I brought up to someone about their pet bird they had in like first grade. I swear I'm not trying to be creepy. I just have a plethora of small details I remember about everyone. I should add, none of these people are close friends. Just people I talked to in school. Standing too close. Even when you back away. People who ask you a question and then just stare at you without any follow-up after you answer them. I swear every time I've talked to the big boss, CEO of a workplace, they will ask me a really simple question like, how are you today? And when I say I am good. How are you? I just get this confused stare in return. Just fucking say something or nod or anything, lol. I've got a coworker who brags about having anger issues. He starts smirking. As if that's so impressive and intimidating. I think it makes him sound like a creepy douchebag. Firm handshakes but they don't let go. Makes me so uncomfortable and I absolutely do not trust anyone that does this. Good try up. I know you're in here for a list of features so you don't come off as creepy and be more successful with murder. Eager to get into fights, danger. Refusal to take no for an answer. Being all smiles all the time. People who roleplay when texting you. And type out stutters like, I. Really like you, looks away nervously. It makes me want to run as far away from you as possible because what the hell. People who touch other people without permission. Trying to get a load of personal information from you in a first meeting. Like phone number, Facebook, Instagram or whatever else you have. Edit. Clarification. I mean asking for all. Some of them in a short space of time and increasing urgency. The guys who all the time brag about being nice guys. Taking pictures of strangers without permission and people who just don't respect boundaries in general. People who question literally everything I do. Like, chill bro. Not even I know why I did that. Edit. Just to clarify. Asking out of genuine interest is fine, ah ha ha. My autistic ass is taking notes, skull. Toxic positivity. I knew a kid in HS who said we wanted to wear my skin as a suit. Thought that was kinda weird. Adults who use baby talk to other adults. When you just met someone and they show you photos of themselves. But then you realize that they are wearing your clothes. And then you see another photo and notice that they are in your room. Posing beside you. As you're completely asleep. Then the photos show them touching your face and you realize that you must not have been asleep but actually drugged. That's pretty creepy. Someone who appears very nice but becomes nasty when they don't get their way. As a gamer, many of my male friends just cannot help themselves but be weird to girls we game with. Whether it's making every single comment sexual or a sexual joke behind it. Giving them pet names, etc. It's fucking weird. It's an automatic thing. Perhaps the most creepy trait of all is when someone smiles for too long without any reason. I mean, sure, it's nice to smile. But when you keep doing it for minutes on end, it starts to look like you're hiding something. Like maybe you're secretly plotting to take over the world or something. Or maybe you just need to lay off the caffeine. Either way, it's creepy. When their mouth smile does not match their eye smile. This interaction with my father. Dad, you can't keep telling women to smile all the time. It's wrong. Why? They're pretty when they smile. Would you say it to a guy? No. I'm not gay. Do you see how it's sexual? No. Sigh. Long curvy yellow toenails. They say, I love you, when they just fucking met you. Touching while talking to you when they don't know you. Unsolicited flirtatious comments towards waitresses, retail employees, etc. I have a nickname that typically is derived from a different formal name. I am called my legal name by the government and growing up. My mother when she was pissed. That is it. When someone meets me and says something like, that's a name for a child. I'm going to call you presumed formal name from now on. They always turn out to be creepy or way dramatic. I've had it happen more often than you might think. And typically by someone with a double name that has never once had a nickname. Mary Catherine. Mary Margaret. Amy Beth. You get the picture. People who use my name too frequently when we're talking. People who act super friendly from the get-go. Like, dude, we just met. Don't give me a nickname and be all touchy-feely. I know some people are just like that. And there's no weird intentions behind their actions. But God, it sets off my "don't trust this person" sensors. When they take a massive dump on your toilet lid. People who take advantage of their elderly parents. Something I've witnessed myself doing in others. Accidental eye contact followed by vaguely looking past the person to non-verbally be like, "Hey. I wasn't actually looking at you. Sorry." Except it ends up being, feeling creepy. Using my name. Except when necessary. I've known a large quantity of sociopaths. Psychopaths. And shitty people in general. They all know that people like to hear their names generally. They teach it in management courses and how to get people to like you kinda shit. I'm personally terrible with names. So forgetting my name actually doesn't bug me. But all the manipulative people I've ever met absolutely use that trick. Use my name too much and I will absolutely be more cautious around you at the very least. When a guy has his arm partway around his girlfriend's shoulder and is gripping the back of her neck. Anyone who goes out of their way to hurt animals. Extreme Christianity. I actually believe in God. But if you bring it up constantly and relate every single thing in your life to your close relationship with Jesus. No thank you. Gives me I don't rape people only to stay out of hell vibes. People who won't understand no or rejection. And won't get over it for a long time. They don't understand when you make it clear that you want to be left alone. No. I'm not lonely. No. I'm not waiting for somebody. No. I'm not seeking company. I just want to be left to my own devices now, can you please fuck off? Close talking. When they ask you too many personal questions immediately after meeting you. Writing a 14-yo girls how pretty they are. Inability to admit fault or self-reflect. I have a sharp memory and it unsettles some people. People with no inner dialogue. Socially awkward Redditors are furiously taking notes. Obsessed with karma. I got adopted by a friend of a friend. Edit. Not literally adopted, she just decided I was going to be her new friend despite us having nothing in common. She was a Chinese lady in her late 20s early 30s. I ended up going to her house one day to help her move some furniture to her new place as she told me how her BF had just broken up with her. She kept saying that he was weak and rudderless and the only reason he broke up with her because his mother told him to. Over the evening of conversation she explained that she was also non-sexual dominatrix and one of her slaves was also coming over to help her move. Once he had gone we were chatting and she explained that she had never had any feelings for anyone other than her now ex-boyfriend. How she didn't see people as friends or even necessarily even as people, they were just people she could use for her own purposes. Huge red flag number 1. She would make jokes that were funny. They weren't even jokes in any real sense, after which she would suddenly and unrealistically loudly laugh for a slightly too long for and then abruptly stop deadpan again like some who was just trying out laughter for the first time but found it wasn't to their liking. Red flag 2, and honestly made my skin crawl. I hung out with her maybe once more after that. She got it in her head that she wanted me to come over and watch a movie with her. The TV room in her building was huge and had 4 huge sofas in it, all dotted around the edge of the room facing the TV. We talked for a while about her breakup and how her mother had never once told her she loved her or even hugged her once in her whole life, and how she was depressed because she couldn't work out why her boyfriend had left her and how it was absolutely his mother's fault. When I suggested that maybe the reason she couldn't understand it was because she thought of him as entirely weak and rudderless, she had no concept of how he could do something of his own free will, she looked at me dead in the eye annoyed and said, "Why are you saying these things? You're wrong." We then watched a movie and she sat on the sofa furthest away from me the whole movie, a good 10 meters away, and didn't say a word until the movie ended. Her whole vibe made my skin crawl. Edit. Not literally adopted. I mean, she just decided I was her new best friend after one meeting despite us having nothing in common. People who hold eye contact for way too long after we stop talking. People who don't respect personal space. Describing people as exotic. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like. If you would like to see more content like this in the future, subscribe and turn on notifications to be notified about future videos. Now check out one of these interesting videos.